The Trump tariffs are already having an effect or already taking place at 12:01 a.m. on April the 4th. The 10% baseline tariff took effect on nearly all US imports, excluding Canada and Mexico, with far higher duties targeting 57 larger trading partners from China and the EU to Australia and Britain. The markets were swift and brutal in their verdict. In just 2 days, nearly $5 trillion has been wiped off the S&P 500. The FTSE 100 has plummeted by almost 5%, its worst day since the COVID-19 pandemic. The Nasdaq has officially entered bear territory, and global indices have followed suit. Not so much a correction as a collapse. The tariffs were accompanied by the usual Trumpian bravado. "This is a great time to get rich," he posted on Truth Social. But the message from investors has been clear. This is a perilous gamble with inflation, supply chains, and consumer prices. And the new effective US tariff rate now stands at around 24%, according to Oxford Economics, higher even than in the 1930s under the notorious Smoot-Hawley Act. China has already retaliated with an equal 34% tariff on all US goods, filing a lawsuit at the World Trade Organization and announcing export restrictions on key rare earth minerals. The EU, slapped with a 20% tariff, is weighing digital taxes on US tech giants. South Korea is caught mid-snap election. Israel is in crisis talks, and even tiny Pacific nations like Vanuatu and Fiji are grappling with punitive rates. No nation, not even the Falklands, has been spared Trump's tariff dragnet. Meanwhile, Trump continues to golf in Florida, insisting that every country is calling us. It is, in his words, a great time to negotiate. Every country is calling us, but it's the names that they're using. Britain, somewhat spared with a 10% rate rather than EU's 20%, finds itself in a diplomatic holding pattern, and Keir Starmer has declined to retaliate, at least for now, on the advice of Tony Blair, of course, citing the need for calm and pragmatism. The Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, called Trump's protectionism a return to the 1930s, while Chancellor Rachel Reeves is scrambling to limit the domestic fallout. JCB's CEO warns that a trade war with the US is a war we can only lose, and yet Starmer sees opportunity in the chaos. A deal with the US, perhaps to reduce digital taxes and ease tariffs on agriculture and AI, is in the works, but Trump has withheld signature, relishing his leverage. Britain's dilemma is profound. Should it retaliate, it risks economic pain. Should it concede, it risks humiliation. What Trump has done is to tear up the global rule book, and these tariffs are not surgical strikes, they are bludgeons wielded against friend and foe alike, and his rationale, trade deficits, lack of reciprocity, and foreign VAT regimes, is simplistic at best and economically dubious. Still, Trump's gambit may work politically. He's presenting himself as the ultimate deal maker, restoring America's dominance, forcing concessions. He's banking on nationalism, not neoliberalism. But the risk is immense. Fragmentation of global supply chains, retaliatory inflation, and even recession. And the US may extract short-term gains, but at the cost of its leadership in a globalized economy. Trump's tariffs mark a turning point, not just in trade, but in global relationships. They challenge the very foundation of multilateralism. For the UK, for the EU, for the rest of the world, the question is no longer whether we like the rules, but how we survive in a world where the referee has torn up the rule book. We're entering what President Trump calls Liberation Day, but liberation from whom and at what cost? And what is liberation? What is freedom? Freedom is another word for chaos.